You can hear me? Give me thumbs up. All right, I can't hear you. You're muted. But you know what? I just ran my marathon and I was telling AJ, he's just a guest. He's another coach. He wanted to see what's up with the coaching calls. But I just had a whole conversation with him that it's gonna be on the recording. But the very long story short is your boy ran a marathon today. And like I said on my story, your strongest moments often make you think of your weakest, right? And you have to have those weak moments to use as power in your strong moments. You're going to struggle. You must overcome. That is the only way. You agree? You feel me? Thumbs up. All right, so boom, we'll go to you because you are the superstar that showed up today. Unmute yourself. Give us
Respect
a
that.
win for the
Respect
week.
that.
Huh?
I respect that he showed up, man. I like that. What's his name?
This is
John.
Johnny.
Like you, Johnny. You
All
want to show
right.
up? So,
So unmute, give us a win for the week, and then just tell me how your week was too. You got it.
yo, by the way, sorry to cut you off. Um, you might have abundance of people joining right now. You might not have abundance of people joining right now. I just sent the link to my clients so they can listen to what you got to say.
All
There's
right.
people here, so you're about to get a lot of people. Might get a lot of
Here.
people right now.
They're
Uh,
here. They're
there it
here.
is. Oh, there it is. We got people to show up. So, I don't want to take over your Zoom call. This is your Zoom call, Jonathan.
For sure.
Want to give everyone just let everyone know why I just sent that link right now. Jonathan, a lot of you may know him from my social media, may know him from the podcast we shot. Jonathan's an online coach also. I've been helping him out with his online coaching and kind of how we run things and stuff like that. He just had a group Zoom call today. Today's a group Zoom call day. For all you know, we all have our own group Zoom call. The only person that showed up today, well, when I got in the group Zoom call, it was me. It was me and Jonathan. It was only me and Jonathan. That was it. We were having a FaceTime, right? Jonathan was talking about him just running and about every. I would love for you to reshare it again, honestly, because I want everyone to hear that. And the only person that showed up on his online coaching is actually Johnny, the one in the top right. And the way what he was talking about it was really impactful. I'm listening. I'm a coach. I'm listening. I'm showing up for myself, but I'm listening. I'm in school. But I don't want to take over your Zoom call, Jonathan. I just want to let everyone know why you're doing it. You're gonna get a lot of people in here right now. So I want you to start from the beginning, man. I want to hear it all. Again, I want to hear it one more time.
All right, for
If you don't
sure.
mind, this is your Zoom call.
For
I
sure.
now we got people in here that they're gonna be impacted by your story, man.
All right, cool. Well, first and foremost, welcome everybody. I am happy to have you. Thank you for being listening ears. At the end of the day, AJ and I are just regular people who refuse to quit. So if you think that we're any different from you, don't think like that. All right. But I was telling, so this is a recording. I'm gonna send this to all my clients as well. So they're gonna hear the story again. Um, so don't call me. Anyway, sorry about that. I gotta go on Do Not Disturb. All right, thank you for your patience. So today, everybody, if you don't know, I ran my first marathon. And then to all of AJ's clients, I used to be almost 300 pounds. I lost 80 pounds, just naturally losing weight, lifting weights in the gym, changing my diet, understanding everything that AJ is basically teaching you. And so he obviously lost way more weight than me, but same process over here, changed my life. And so I always knew that when I lost weight, it was always lose this weight and then figure out what I'm doing next. So it was never just, I can't wait to lose X amount of pounds and then I'm just going to go back to a regular life because that's not how this works. If you lose weight and then go back to doing exactly what you did before, you're going to end up exactly how you were before. And so when I lost the weight, I was always finding the next challenge. The challenge that is upon us is running. So I ran 2 half marathons last year. I started training in August for them. I've been running ever since, and I had my full marathon today, and it was rough. Okay, it was only rough at around mile 21. So in training, I ran up to 20 miles. Appreciate you, live, love, Ash. You're wonderful. I ran 20 miles. And on my 20-mile run, actually, when I was training, going at a slow pace, getting it done, which I'm just throwing these numbers around. Like 20 miles is long as shit. I don't know if you guys know this. I could like barely run 2, 3 miles back in 2020 when I first started running, only because gyms closed and my pace was like 15, 16 minutes. I was huffing and puffing the whole time. But on my 20-mile run, I cried because I thought about everything that I overcame to get to this point. And then today during my marathon, I cried a couple times. mile 21, 23, and then at the end I cried as well, just because, right? These are memories that I'm going to share with you that I have going through my head. And so I was telling Johnny, I told AJ, when you're in your strongest moments, you often think of your weakest and you could use them as fuel to keep you going. And so there was a point in my life. So I'm a cancer survivor. I also lost a whole bunch of weight and I lost my mom when I was 10 years old. So I've endured a lot. I've overcome a lot. And so one of my weakest, lowest points is I was going through chemotherapy, and I'm getting very real with all of you. Just met you, but this is the story. And I had a chemotherapy that attacked my joints. And so like my elbows, my knees, so I had to relearn how to walk. It didn't take too long, but it was very just different, living 16 years of your life, knowing how to use your body, and then it's kind of like fucked. And there was a point where I couldn't get off of the toilet and I couldn't wipe my own ass. Like it's a little vulgar, but that is a memory that I have in my head. And then when I started my weight loss journey to lose 80 pounds, I was in my ex-girlfriend's bathroom looking in the mirror. Now, this is after I have already survived cancer, graduated. I'm now in college. I got a whole bunch of good shit going for me, and I just didn't recognize the person that I saw. And it was then that I realized I need to change my life. And so I ended up breaking up with my girlfriend. And then to be very honest with everybody here, I was like, I need to make myself look better so I can get women. And then I realized along the journey that the best way to get great women and great people in your life is to become the best version of yourself, not just look like the best version of yourself. So the outside always mirrors the inside, right? So that like how you feel about yourself is definitely represented in your body and how you take care of yourself. So I changed that along the way, figured out I'm in control of my life. Boom, lost the weight, right? I was like, what's next? Like I said, I tried high intensity interval training, feel me, the burpees that AJ's trying to get his game up in, I could get them things going. And then I also now welcome Marcos. I would just give him a little bit of a life story. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna go over it again, but we'll just continue. We got some more people joining. Loving the do you call yourself your people anything, AJ? I got the drip fam.
Just it's family, man. It's just the
Just,
family, man.
just family. I'm loving
Man,
the
my
family.
family. Just for I'm not sure how many new people came in. My boy Jonathan, he's sharing his story right now. He's online coach. Today's his group Zoom call with his clients. So I've been helping Jonathan with online coaching, kind of saying what I do in my program that's really been so effective for the team. HCM fam, there it is. And when I hopped in the call late, I hopped in 2 minutes late, and no one was in here. There was no one in the Zoom call. It was just him and me. That was it. And I was like, nah, he's sharing. And I was like, well, I'm your student. I've lost 350 pounds. I'm still learning. Right. And I was like, I know a lot of people that are going to want to learn. So I just sent the link to everyone right now on the program. So he's keep going, but keep going. I want to take over. I'm learning. I'm learning, coach. I'm learning. I'm taking notes. Well, I'm
All right,
drinking water, but I'm also taking notes.
creatine. Take your creatine. I don't know if AJ tells you, you need to get on the creatine. But so to continue the story, this hill that I'm climbing now is marathon running. And so I did it. I did the 2.5 marathons last year, ran my marathon today. I was cramping. Your boy was hurrying. It was rough. Mile 24, I hit a wall and I had to just power through. And it brought me to the idea or the principle that I understand as fact that I believe everybody should understand. And it's this, right? When you start out, I know a lot of you, you're very similar to me, or you should be, but you might be. You started a fitness journey and then you gave up on yourself. And so, by show of hands, how many of you have actually given up at one point in your own journey? You could use your hand on the in Zoom or actually raise it, right? Like you've given up. It's like, yeah, fuck this. I can't do this. I'm not built for this, right? A lot of us. I gave up like 5 times. I've been trying to lose weight and change my life since 2017, but I really only talk about 2020 because that's the time when I actually gave up on giving up and committed to it. So just know, like I said to everybody else that was here, AJ and I are just regular people who refuse to give up, right? That's just how it goes. So then with that, the principle that you must understand. So I'll tell you now, And what I tell all my clients, what I tell anybody I talk to in person is this. Everything I tell you is just words until you experience it. So I plant the seed and then you go out, you do shit for yourself, and you're like, oh, that's what he was talking about. And so that's why I like to just tell you, because I didn't have anybody to tell me this is what's going to happen. Do this, boom. Then you follow the plan. Johnny, did you have a question or were you just raising your hand? All right, I'm gonna put your hand down because you're holding the baby. But all right, sounds good. So here's the principle. I know I'm building up a whole bunch of anticipation. The goal isn't to never fail, because as you know, everybody who has quit on themselves in this journey, you have already failed. Failures are going to happen. And it's failures in quotations, because every single time you mess up, it's not a failure, it's just a character building moment. The true goal is to come back from every failure. So if you have that mindset, you know you're going to mess up. All you have to tell yourself when you're messing up, falling off, not following the plan is, I just have to get back from this. And so in cahoots with that, I like to say a setback is just a set up for a come back every single time. Again, boom, more for you on that topic. Everything in life is temporary, even life itself. So definitely take some time, enjoy the now, enjoy where you are being on this journey. If you have the mindset that, oh, once I do XYZ, I'll be happy, you'll never be happy, because tomorrow never comes. Yesterday doesn't exist. All we have is right now. Yo, I had a good thought. Hold on, come back to me. Because I had to talk about the now. What was I just talking about before that? AJ.
Uh, your run, then if you learn from it, you didn't fail, and then a setback is only set up for a comeback.
Set up for a comeback. I lost it. I was
You
being
lost.
on fire. I was on a roll.
You were, man. I'm listening, coach. What's up,
All right,
buddy?
hold
I'm
on. Let me
taking my
think about it. Let me think about it. Meditate on it.
water break.
Water break. Setback is a setup for a comeback. I don't know, but the next thing is, the next topic with that conversation is that every single time that you come back from a setback or a failure, you're never really back, right? Because you are better. You have more experience in the game, more experience in this journey. So let's say, for example, to be very like clear cut about it, you lose 20 pounds, right? Then you gain 5, 10 more pounds, right? From that, and it's a setback. You see that as a failure. You feel like you should be losing, losing, losing. Mind you, the journey is gonna look like a stock. I weighed 206 pounds like 4 weeks ago. I'm probably like 215 right now, but I feel good because I'm understanding that I am trusting myself and everything that I'm doing will lead to a great future. Happy with it now, right? So boom, you lose 20 pounds, gain 10. You're like, oh no, I messed up. This isn't for me. All the negative thoughts come. As soon as you lose those 10 pounds again, which you will, so long as you stick to the plan, you won't be back to where you originally started, because you didn't just lose the 10 pounds that you lost. You actually ended up losing 30 pounds. So you have more experience when it comes to losing weight. Every single time you mess up and come back, you build up your resilience, you build up your tolerance and like your willpower to get it done. Making sense? Thumbs up, people. Like we're liking that. Because that's what it comes down to. And then the sooner you can understand that failures and fuck ups are going to happen and you accept them, boom, the sooner you could be happy with where you are right now. So two things, right? Confidence comes from making promises to yourself and keeping them, right? And then the other one is everything is temporary. And what I mean by that is everything is temporary. Even life is, oh, that's it. That's what I was saying earlier. Everything is temporary. So with that, right? When times are great, excellent, you're on your routine, you're happy, your mood's good, life's going great, enjoy it, because it's not going to be here forever. And I don't say that in a pessimistic way. It's just a way to explain to you that it's only temporary. And then when times are tough, you're going through it and you're struggling, it's just a real hard time. endure, be resilient, push through, get yourself to that other side, because guess what? It's not going to be like that forever. So to add elements to my story, I got kicked out of college twice because I went through very big depressive episodes, like saw psychiatrists, hopped on medicine, support groups, like kicked out of college. Graduated, got my degree. Cool, whatever. But in that, I lost it. Okay. Oh, when you're having a terrible time, your mind plays a trick on you and makes you think that it's going to be like this forever, and that prolongs like the hard times you're going through. So I could tell you that I was on a couch, not showering, watching YouTube videos, eating chips, whatever, for like a month when I got kicked out of college, right? And when that happened, I just thought that, well, if this is what it's going to be like forever, I'm just going to be depressed. I might as well be depressed. Low key, back in December, your boy gets seasonal depression. Depression has never gone away. I just stay active throughout it. I remain. I had just like 4 days where again, I couldn't leave the couch. I'm a big comfort eater. So I was eating donuts, I was eating whatever I wanted, going to sleep. I wasn't getting my workouts done. And I'm talking 4 days. And I was like, I always knew in the back of my mind, I would get back to my plan. I would get back to my program. And so the fact that I know for a fact that when times are tough, it's only going to be temporary, I was always going to make it out, right? I knew I was going to make it out because I am who I am. You already proved to yourself. First off, being on this call, being a student of AJ, you know that you're capable of doing anything. And even in the hardest of times, the baddest motherfuckers forget what they're capable of, forget what they've been through, forget what they've gone through, forget that they can go through anything. Sometimes you need a reminder. Sometimes you need to remind yourself. So like beating cancer, losing the weight, living happily, without my mother, all that goes out the window when shit's tough, because the only thing you focus on is that tough time. And so whatever you give attention to in that moment is not as important as you think it is. So with that, the tough times, the setbacks, the failures, they're going to come. Tell yourself they're going to come. Be ready for them, not ready for whatever it is, but be ready and know that they are on the way. And understand this: tough times are going to come. They have not come to stay. They have come to pass. So with that, your boy finished his marathon today, killed that shit. I feel like a gazillion bucks because I'm that guy. I already have the second marathon lined up. And if you asked me 3 years ago if I would be running a marathon, I would ask if you were on drugs, to be very honest. And it's like, the thing is, when you start this journey, you're like, yeah, I want to lose weight because of XYZ. All of it's going to change. You evolve as you change, and then you'll start to do things. Again, words until you experience it. You're going to do things that you can't even fathom right now. So like as humans, we don't understand what the void is. It could be a plethora of things, but we see it as nothing, but we can't understand it. So I can't tell you that Marcos, one day you're gonna do backflips and dunk a basketball, right? That's maybe not something that's on your mind right now, but you may get to a point in life where those are things that you do on the regular. And so losing weight isn't just like just to lose weight, it changes your life. It helps it what it takes to lose weight bleeds into the rest of your entire life. Did I know that I was going to be an online coach? No. I just wanted to lose weight to get girls. Right? Remember I told you that? And here we are now. I'm talking to all of you. I have an Instagram. I have a story to tell. You're gonna be doing things you never thought of. And when you do it, make sure you let AJ know. If you want to let me know and be like, yo, I just did XYZ. I would have never even done this before. And don't think that you can thank AJ, but also thank yourself. So I tell all my clients when they first sign up with me, I am their number 2 fan. Simply because the only way to succeed in this journey is that you have to be your number 1 fan. You have to be rooting for you louder than everybody else. Because even like AJ and I, as coaches, we want to see you win more than anything. But that means nothing because we can't lift the weights. We can't, we don't feed you. You have to be the one that walks through this journey. And so with that, I like to say that you are the only vessel that can take you where you want to go in life. Yes, it's a journey for yourself and you have to do it alone, but you don't have to be lonely when you do it. We're here for you. Like, you think that nobody else knows what you're going through, knows what you're experiencing. AJ and I have done the impossible, right? The shit that we thought we couldn't do. And who knows what the future holds for us. We're both young. All of us are young. There's so much time in the world. Your life can change in 3 years and then be something completely different than it was before. So with that, I'm gonna end the monologue. And then if anybody has questions about anything, I would love to answer anything, dive deep in more about anything, and go from
I got a
there.
question.
All right.
How'd you start running? What got you into running?
Fucking COVID. Gyms closed, right? But I was like 3 months into my journey. So it's January, February, March. Gyms closed in March. And then I tried home workouts. Not my thing. I like the energy in the gym. I like to see other people stronger than me, showing me something that, I can achieve. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be like that guy. Like, if I saw myself in the gym, my current self in the gym 3 years ago, I'd be like, yo, that guy's him. He's him, right? But I lost the gym. So I was working at a home to keep the momentum and it wasn't working. So it's like, okay, I guess we have to run because guess what? Sidewalks are open. You can't close them. And then from there, the gyms open back up. Gyms open back up. Got back on that. But because I ran for, the 3 months during the summer of COVID, um, I now added that to my armory. That's something that I could do. So whenever the weather was nice, it was a good day, it was sunny. Again, I talked about season of depression. Your boy loves sun. I'd be like, okay, I want to go on a nice little 3 mile run. And I would sprinkle those in between 2020 and 2023. And then one day I did 4 miles. And then one day I was like, okay, my longest was 4, let's try 5. Then I was like, okay, longest was 5, let's try 6 miles. And then what's next. I was like, okay, longest was 6, let's try 7. And then when I got to 7, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 8. I miscalculated and I did 8.62. And so how I'm talking to you guys right now is how I talk to everybody. So I talk to people. I'm an online coach. I also work as an engineer. I haven't made the transition to full-time coaching just yet. So I talk to people in Cubicle about my life. And there's just one girl there. We talk about running. She's a runner. She does, runs during lunch. And I updated her. I was like, hey, Sylvie, guess what? Your boy ran 8.62 miles. She was like, oh my God, that's so good. You are amazing, right? All that. She was like, you should do a half marathon. And I was like, bitch, I might. And then I looked it up. I signed up for it. I found a training plan. I did the half marathon. It was it was cool. Training was rough, but once you train for it, you just show up and show out, right? Then 3 weeks later, I did another half marathon. But in training for the half marathon, I was like, I'm gonna do a full. Like before I even got to see what a half was like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the full because after I lost the weight, after I've done everything I've done in life, where I was at that point where I couldn't even get off the toilet, I'm like, I want to see what I'm capable of. So I have big goals, like I want to do more, be more, and really just see what I'm capable of. And I did the 26.2 today, and I have, another marathon already lined up. But the running is just like I was forced into it, but I'm glad I did because it's another thing that I can do. A lot of people like running, a lot of girls like running. Great combination. You feel me? But that was a great question. It was kind of forced, and then we ran with it. You like that? You like that?
Oh, the play on words. I like that. I like that.
How about anybody else? Anybody any questions on anything? Ask me how my day was. It doesn't really matter, but if you do, I would love to answer them. All right, Bracy, if you want to unmute.
So as far as your weight loss, outside of the exercise that you did, um, with having that type of cancer, how did that affect your joints after the fact? Because I know that you beat it, but you had to have some sort of lasting damage or pain. Because personally, that's something that I deal with is pain in my joints,
Mm-hmm.
uh, from injuries or whatnot, and so um, I had a similar thought to you at one point that I wanted to get into running. I bought some Hokas and the running apps to track it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, there's even whenever I was in high school as an athlete wrestling football, um, there is nothing I see fun about running. So yeah, how did the cancer affect your joints? Do you still feel pain today? And how did you just get over that mental block of fighting through the pain?
Great question. Great. Love this question. So it's definitely a two-parter. So, with the joints and the chemotherapy, it was really only affected when I took this certain chemo. So it was red, turmeric, pea orange, and it would like attack my joints. And then after that, chemo was 2012 to 2015. I didn't really start my journey until 2020. So my joints kind of returned to normal. But while I was having, joint problems, I was just living. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was just a young teenager living life. So I didn't really have the joint problems when it came to starting my running journey, because even though I had gone through chemotherapy, like the way it was a blood cancer that I had, the way my blood cells read now, and like even I got my heart checked, I am just a quote unquote like normal person, like in remission from the cancer, body is doing good. And then with the running and the training, like, first off, super side note, a meander, right? My mother passed away from a heart attack, so bad heart. My grandfather, her dad, passed away from a heart attack, bad heart. And so with the running, I went and got an echocardiogram, and my resting heart rate was very low, and that's that of an athlete. So even with a bad heart, like hereditarily, I could still come back from it. And now, boom, right? For you, Bracy, when it comes to the mental block with running, right? If that's not something you want to do, don't do it, right? For right now. How far are you on your journey?
So it's been up and down. Right now I'm on the downside of things.
Mm-hmm.
So the weight that I did lose, I've gained it back. And up until a few weeks ago when I sought out um Anthony's help, I wasn't doing nothing. I'd go to work and then come home and that's it. I didn't have any desire to do anything outside of that. Um, just because mentally I was just tired. Um, with my job and with the economy, if I'm not working 12, 14 hours a day, I'm not making enough money I'm not making a livable wage. So all my time and energy was going into work. And it's hopefully changing here soon. But like today, uh, there's no reason that I couldn't go out and go somewhere or do something, but I just had no desire to do it.
Okay, cool. So listen, right? Everything you're speaking about, completely understand. AJ is gonna work with you, and you're gonna learn about time management and blocking out time to do things. So don't worry about that, especially when it comes to the long work days. For example, in 2020, when I started my journey and decided not to quit, this is probably like attempt number 5. Like I have been trying to lose weight since 2017. Um, I would commute 45 minutes to school. I would go to class all day. I would work after class, commute 45 minutes home, get my 45-minute to an hour workout in, go to sleep, do it again, right? So with all the time constraints that you have, where there's a will, there's a way. So when it comes to the running, I wasn't running because I wanted to when I first started. I kind of ran because I had to. If it was up to me, I would have never ran up until maybe I wanted to. So as you're getting started on this journey, you do what works for you. You do what you enjoy, because your mood, your mentality about everything you're doing is more important than what you're doing. So when it comes to weight loss and everything you see online, people are like, this is the best way to do that. This is better than this. Stop doing this, do that. None of that shit matters, because the only thing that will work for you is whatever you can do continuously. It's what you're going to do consistently, which it's what you're going to keep doing. So if it's running and you're like, I can't fathom even running right now, then don't. right? And so that goes back to the what I said earlier. You're gonna do things that you never even thought of when you first started losing weight. So for you, it's getting into the fitness world, getting into the health and wellness and understanding to move your body. And then to answer your question about the mental block, I built up so much mental fortitude along this journey, right? So when you get started, you got to do what you want to do what works for you. And then as you progress, you get into a period where you start to do things that make you uncomfortable. And you want to get outside your comfort zone because you know that's where the growth is. So for now, you just have to get into somewhat of a routine, somewhat of a rhythm. And so what I like to do now is understand things that I don't like, understand things I don't want to do, and then I choose to do them to like show my subconscious, my unconscious mind that I, Jonathan Walker, am in control and I'm going to get this shit done. And so that even goes to like simple things. It's the end of the night, like super simple example. You're in bed, you're tucked in, you're snug as a bug in a rug. You forgot to turn off the light and you sit there, you're like, oh no, I gotta get up, I gotta turn off the light, I don't want to do it. You scroll on your phone for a little bit. That's something that you've identified that you don't want to do. You avoid it, and then eventually you do it. Now, so with the running and everything else in life, if my unconscious mind is like, I don't want to do it, that's immediately what I do. And that's just because, again, the mental fortitude to do the things you hate and do it like you love it. But for you, for where you're at on the journey, it is get started and then you'll get better. That answer your question. That makes sense. Everybody that has a camera on, like that, we resonating with that one. Cool, 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 cool. Great question. Great question. I like welcome.
Hey,
Welcome to
Jonathan, I got a question.
talk to me, baby.
It's more like asking for like any tips and tricks that you got. So, I talked with Anthony last week on like Thursday or Friday, and I was in a spot where like right after the holidays I just hit a funk. Like I was just like I fell off basically. I fell off my journey. Was eating everything and anything I wanted. Wasn't tracking my food. Wasn't doing any kind of exercise. Stopped going to the gym. And I mean, there was shit going on, but I was kind of just like letting that be an excuse. But more so like going back to expecting things to happen, and down seasons to come, and expecting them. What kind of tips and tricks do you have for people to get back on track quicker? Because it took me almost like 3.5 4 weeks, close to about a month, to just like finally buckle down and be like, all right, like I need to get my shit together. I need to get back to tracking. I need to do the shit that I need to do because I have a reason and I have, goals to reach. But for me during that month, it was just like I didn't care about my goals. Like I was just letting shit fucking slide. I told Anthony, I was like, dude, I hit a point where like I took out the trash and there was like 3 4 boxes of Little Caesars pizza. Like I just did not care. Like it was bad. It was really bad. But then now like I'm reeling it back in, and I would like to when seasons like that happen, when shit like that happens, like I want to be able to reel myself back in faster. So do you have like any kind of tips or like just advice on like how to do that quicker, like how to get in a better mental space faster?
Absolutely. Kind of, but not really, right? And so I talked about, I think it was in the story, my 4 days where I was just on that couch and I came back, right? Had I dipped into my depressive episode 2 years ago, even a whole year into my journey, I would have been gone for a month too. 100%, just like you, right? And so the shift in mentality has to come when you're talking about faster and quicker. So, Marcos, how old are you?
32.
32, right? Young, nothing crazy going on. It took you, you've been alive for 32 years. Congrats. You kept yourself alive. You are here. You made it to this point. It took you 32 years to get here. You're not going to change your life, become a different person, have the mindset to deal with anything quickly like that just because you want to. It's a developed trait. So to answer your question on how do you do it quicker, it is that temporary mindset. So understanding that it's temporary, because I promise you, those 4 days, like I'm talking 4 days, that's a long ass time for me, right? Those 4 days, I wasn't doing a single thing. I was like terrible. I had reverted all the way back. But each day that I had that it happened, so each day that you're going through it and you're feeling bad about, I really should be doing this, blah, 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 you're ashamed, right? Don't be. You simply have to let it happen, right? So again, it's the reminder that this is temporary. This is just how you are. This is your state, right? You have plans to come back to. You've been on the journey, and to fall off, you know what it's like to be on, right? And so every time you fall off and you're ashamed, don't be. Just be in the moment, understand it, and then simply reassure yourself, right, that you are going to come back. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but a comeback is on its way, right? And then when you have that conversation with yourself each day, you're not ashamed. So when you're ashamed, you push yourself deeper into the hole. Like, well, I keep fucking up, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. If you're like, this is okay, I'm gonna get back to it. This is okay, I'm gonna get back to it. This is okay, I'm going to get back to it. So it's just an affirmation. So just tell yourself, this is temporary. This is temporary. This is temporary. This is not who I am. I'm a person that gets shit done, right? And then boom, right? You have those affirmations and you're like, all right, I'm ready to get back to it, right? First off, do not punish yourself. Do not say, I fucked up for so long, so I need to make up for it by doing X, Y, and Z. No, that's not how it works. You fell off real quick, but in order to get back on, you have to start slow. So if you have a routine where you go to the gym X amount of days per week, you eat whatever meals per day, right? The best part about having a terrible week is that it doesn't take much to have a better week next week. And so I'm talking in terms of weeks, but we can also talk in terms of days. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, terrible. All right, Friday, do one thing better, right? Saturday, keep that one thing you did better from Friday, add one more thing, do better. Sunday, maybe that's your rest day. I would still say you did two things better on Saturday, do three things better on Sunday. Monday, you're not feeling it, then keep the three things you did better on Sunday. And then you slowly build back up to where you were. And then you're so focused on the build up that you forget, like you lose like the understanding of when you're back, because you're just so focused on doing a little bit better than the day before that when you get back to your routine and you're like, yo, I'm back on it. I'm on my shit again. You're actually doing better than when you fucked up, right? So again, Anthony should have talked about this. I know he did. This journey looks like a stock. That's what I tell all my clients. You're gonna have ups and downs and ups and downs, so long as it trends in the right direction, whichever one that is for you. When the downs happen, boom, talk to AJ about it. I tell my clients this all the time. I'm not only here for when things are going great. If you're like, yo, coach, shit is fucked, tell me. I'll hop on a call with you, get you back on it, because I want to see you win. So it's knowing that it's going to happen. It's not always going to be great, accepting it and not being ashamed, and then focus on getting back, doing a little bit better day after day, and then you're back before you even realize it.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah,
sure.
sometimes it's hard to text Anthony when I'm doing bad shit because I feel guilty about it. So
Yeah,
so I
we're
wanna
not those coaches. It's just talk to us, because I also fuck up. I also do the same shit. And I tell my clients, yo, last week, terrible. But we're here today and we're gonna be here
I'm,
tomorrow.
I'm hungover right now. Had too much fun last night. I showed up to class though. I showed up to
Yeah.
class today. I talked about it. Well, none of us are perfect. I'm not trying to take over everything, Jonathan, but yeah, none of us are perfect. We're all gonna mess up. You know what I mean? And I said I'm gonna be able to shine. Jonathan's gonna be able to shine with his clients. I'm gonna be able to shine with my clients when you're having a hard time. Because when you're doing good, what are we gonna do? Like, what are we gonna talk about? Dude, let's do it again, right? That's literally what we say. Like, do it again. Let's repeat it. Let's have a repeat. Let's repeat it, right? But when you're struggling, that's when we really get to help you the most, because that's when we're most likely gonna quit. right? We're gonna quit on ourselves when it gets hard. We want to keep going when we're doing the right thing. So our goal as coaches, and my goal as your coach, is going to always be to yes, you're gonna fall off the track a little bit, start leaning over. You know what I mean? We start making that turn a little too much. I'm over here. I'm trying to nudge you, right? we're like bumpers in when we're in bowling, right? I'm like the bumpers. But if you never throw a ball down the lane, then a bumper's useless, right? Because you never, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we're all gonna mess up. We're all gonna have fun. We're all gonna make bad decisions sometimes, but it's showing up, right? And that's why I documented what I did last night. And every single time I go out, I did up, I did my cardio, still took my supplements, got my meals, and you get what I'm saying? So it's like there's no such thing as perfect. And a lot of people are like, oh, why do you share that stuff? Why do you share that stuff? You're supposed to be healthy. I post a healthy lifestyle, I post a perfect lifestyle, right? I'm a human being, right? We all do it. So I just want to try and chime in with that. I'm loving this, man. I'm loving this. And shout out to everyone who just hopped in here. I love it. I love it. So for those that weren't in here, didn't know, my boy Jonathan, he's an online coach. I've been helping with his online coaching and kind of sharing what we do in the community. I wanted to help build him to be the best coach he could possibly be because I know he has a lot of value to bring to people. I hopped in here and there was no one in here. It was me and Jonathan only. It was a FaceTime. And I was like, this guy was shit. I'm like, hey, I'm here to learn. I'm not your homie right now. I'm your client. I want to learn, right? Because I've lost 350 pounds and I'm still learning, right? And so while he was talking, he was sharing the story. I'm like, I feel like I know people that want to hear this story. I know people that need a little push, right? Tomorrow's Monday. I know some people in here had a little rough week last week. Some people had a rough weekend right now. Maybe I know we're all in different stages right now, right? But I knew what he was sharing, being a cancer survivor, now running miles, losing weight, now helping people change their life. I knew this was more important to hear for some people than maybe what they're doing right now. And I felt that there shouldn't just been me and him in here. I felt like there's more ears his story would be able to fall on for people to listen and resonate and push you, right? So I'm so happy to see everyone in here. I'm so happy. You don't even know. I'm so happy. So happy. But anyways, keep going, man. I'm sorry. I'm shut up.
No, I mean, if people have questions, I'm loving the questions you guys are having. Any insight I can give, I would love to. Or personal questions, whatever anybody wants to talk about, let's chat. Or
I have a question. I do have a question. So, obviously being, going through cancer, losing your mom at a very young age, how do you not go back to like negative headspace? Like how do you not let that drag you down? How do you on your hard days when you remember your mom, or when those hard days when you're starting to binge eat or you're starting to fall in your depression, like how do you not let all your past traumas like affect you moving forward? Like what do you do?
Great question. Great question. So like when it comes to my mom, for sure, cried out 100%. Big fire. When I first started my journey, like, and what's consistent in 2020, my first journal entry, I was writing about all the like bad shit happening in my life. And I wrote, yo, if I could cry right now, I would, because I held everything in. So now if something comes up, I'll play a song that's super sad. I'll cry about it. Boom, get back to it. And then when, I'm binge eating and I'm struggling, it's like, I know who I am because of that confidence that I built in myself. I set out to do something and I remind myself that I am the guy that gets shit done. And so every single time I just realized every single time something happens where I mirror my old lifestyle, I'm like, wow, old Jonathan is rearing his head. He's trying to stay alive. And it's not like I don't like the previous version of me, which for a moment I did. I would say that version of me is dead. I don't even know who that guy is. I got to a point where I accepted who I was, because if I wasn't him, I'd never be me, and I am me to become who I'm going to become. And so that was a whole revelation of accepting who I was. He was just surviving. I understood that I had been through so much in life that I ate and did whatever I wanted just to try to maintain a level of happiness. I'm now happier than ever before, but he was just surviving. I'm now working on thriving. And so when the old version or the old habits, the old whatever that I used to do happens, I remind myself that that's not me. But when shit hits the fan, we fall back on our habits, not our goals, not our ambitions, not our plans. It's our habits. And I've been overweight for more in my life than I've been fit. Like all of this is all it's new. It's like the past 4 years. So for 23 years of my life, that's who I was. So if that happens and I do mirror things that he used to do, that I used to do it as that version of myself, I understand that it's acceptable. It is okay. I'm still gonna get back to the plan, like I was telling Marcos, and I keep it pushing. I let it happen, and I just come back. So it's definitely like a big part of like just feeling the emotions, letting yourself go through things, but then reminding yourself it's temporary. It's temporary. It's temporary. It'll go back and forth. So long as you come back, that's that. That makes sense. That's it. That's a good explanation, AJ.
Yeah, I like it. I was listening to you. What'd you say? You said don't. I like what you said right now too. You said don't just survive, thrive.
All
I
right.
think I think it's amazing. I think that's amazing because some of us are just trying to just survive or just trying to do not just become a just some of us are just floating sometimes, right? And we know we have to do better. We want to do better, right? But we kind of set our glass window, right? Where we're like right now, we're in a Zoom call. We feel like we're stuck in this box, right? This only box it could be in, right? And we don't want better for ourselves. But you kind of talked about it earlier when I think I took when I was taking notes, is that you're not going to believe it until you start working on it. Right. So you never thought if someone asked you 3 years ago or 4 years ago if you were going to be able to run 21 miles, you ask them if they're on drugs, and someone now fast forward after 3 years, if you put in work in yourself and you believe in yourself, now if I were to ask you today if you could do 30 miles next month, you're gonna look at me and say yes. But 3 years ago you wouldn't have, you would have said hell no, right? 3 years of work, you would say yes now. So I think it really falls in line with just like knowing that like you have to not first and foremost, none of us believe in ourselves when we start anything. Right. When I first started being an online coach, I didn't believe in myself. I was very nervous. I didn't think I had the knowledge. I didn't think I was going to be able to bring value to people. Right. Fast forward, going in 2 years, if someone asked me if I'm an online coach, I'm going to say I'm the best damn online coach that anyone's ever had. Right. But I had to put in that work and I had to have the results too, was show and, really have the confidence in myself and grow. Right. Along with Jonathan, along with Bryce, I'm gonna start running too. I'm gonna do the 5K I think this year. I got these running shoes are expensive, baby. Damn, like $200, right? But I'm gonna do that too. And the reason why I'm gonna do that is a little different than Jonathan's. I'm doing it because I don't want to do it. Honestly, I'm not a runner. I can't mentally fathom running for no reason. If there's not a fire, if there's not nothing going on behind me, I can't mentally think about that. I'm sorry. It just in my head, I don't have enough problems, right? If I could, why would I run when I have a truck? I have a bike, I have a mountain bike, right? When I'm on a mountain bike trail and I'm climbing that hill and I see people walking, in my head I'm thinking like these people are they honestly have they're nuts because when I get to the top of this hill, I'm gonna fly down this mountain. I'm gonna jump these jumps. I'm gone. Like I've gone in the wind. But these people have to walk right back down, and I'm just thinking or jog. Like I'm like that's not fun, right? But that's why I'm going to start running is because what we've learned and what I've learned and what Jonathan's learned is that you got to go and chase that hard, right? So when I got my boy Bishop over here running every single day, I've seen him watch a video that I watched him shoot a story the other day, and he was running. His freaking beard was frozen, his boogers were frozen, and I was like, bro, I'm watching this video and I'm cold. Like, oh, you're insane. And then I hop on and I see freaking over here my boy Jonathan over here running freaking marathons. These are the people who I look up to. These are people who I'm watching. These people who I'm following, and they're all running, and I don't like running. So now I'm like, well, my boys ain't gonna outdo me. If they're gonna be on stories talking about if you want to be successful, then you got to continue to put on their running. I'm over here like, well, I'm not doing that. Well, now I have to do it, right? And like that's what it is. Like that's what life is about. It's about chasing that hard. It's about like, damn, my boy is leveling up. I want to level up too. I didn't see that and say, oh well, Jonathan's stupid because he runs. Well, B show's so stupid because they do marathons when they could just mountain bike ride. No, I said, damn, they're doing it. They're successful people. They have fit bodies. I would trade my physique for that. My arms are a little bigger than Jonathan's, but nothing crazy. But I'll still, you know what I mean? All right. So then I was like, well, then that's who I should copy. Like that's what I should do, because that's what these people are doing. That's what they're running. Right. So like that's what you all have to take in is that when you see people that you look up to, when you see people doing the right thing, adapt that, right? Go chase that because it wasn't easy for them. Losing weight was easy for me. Losing weight was easy for Jonathan. Losing weight is easy for Patrick, Zoe, Bryson, right? George, Marcos, Johnny. It's not easy for any of you. Trust me, and it's never going to be. And the next hard thing you do is not going to be easy, but you're gonna have the feeling, the know that you could get it done because of all the work that you put in right now, right? And that comes from 1 pound. every single week, some of us lose 1 to 2 pounds. So in 30, 40 pounds, you still only lost 1 pound or 2 pound a week, right? Small steps, big distances, right? And so that's what I got from this call, right? Is that we got to chase the hard, and every single step is going to be difficult. Every single step is going to be difficult. It's going to be new, but every single time you step, every single time you get closer to your goal, every single time you set a new goal and reach it, you become more confident. It becomes funner, right? Now, just because it comes funner does not mean it comes easy, right? There's something they say in the mountain biking community is that it doesn't get easier, you just get faster. And what that means is that 12 miles is always going to be a 12-mile ride. But what it is, that 12-mile ride that once took 3 hours now takes an hour and 40 minutes. So it didn't get easier. You just got faster. You got better. You leveled up in yourself. You became moving better, right? Became more confidence, right? And like that's what I got from this call. Marco, that cereal looked good, man. I want cereal right now, honestly. Well, little man, let me get some cereal, man. Let me get some, you know. And then that's what I took from this call, right? I needed this call, right? Because this honestly now, and I'm sharing this. And sorry for talking so long, Jonathan, but I'm sharing this because like I didn't hop in to join this call to talk. I hopped in to listen. I hopped in to learn. And this call reminded me that I do need to do this 5K, right? Because I need to chase the next hard. Right. And so like this is that's what I got from it. Now I'm your coach. I'm your coach. But I'm not done learning. None of us are done learning. I have a pen. You can't see it, but there's a pen in my hand right now. Right. And I'm constantly writing new chapters every single day. Every single day I'm writing new stuff. Right. That book don't close until my casket closes. So guess what? It's open right now. I woke up breathing today. I'm up today. I'm happy, hungover, right? But I'm happy. I feel like I'm dying, but I'm up. I'm up though, and I got to listen, and you guys got to show up, and you guys got to take something from it and understand that like our book is not done written, right? Our book is not done. This is not supposed to be easy. This is going to be difficult, and the reason why it's difficult, and the reason why you should know it's difficult, is because today when you go out shopping to go get gas or wherever it is, when you leave the house today, when you go look around and 95% of people all look the same right now, that's why it's difficult, because you are becoming the 5%. You're becoming the person that's going to be helping not only physically, but mentally, right? And you may look around and see a couple fit people and stuff like that, but we don't know how the mental looks, right? You're becoming happy physically and mentally, right? So that's what I took out of this call. That I needed this call. So yes, I did like how you explained that. And I learned a lot from what your story and how you and everything you've said today.
Yo, you said some great shit. I'm taking notes. Now let me add on, right? So first off, I'm running for the same reason too, because I hate this shit. So and then once you do what you hate, you do it like you love it, and guess what? You start to love it. Another thing for all of you, I just told my followers this today. Every stranger is a friend you haven't met yet. And if you treat somebody like a friend, they will treat you like a friend. Remember that. All right, now back to my notes from what this lovely man just said, right? Boom. Fact. This is a fact. Understand this. I'm not telling you as motivational. This is no bullshit. Every single one of us is capable of extraordinary things. Fact. So anybody that you think is like, oh wow, they're so great, they did XYZ, why can't you? There's no reason. That is a rhetorical question because you can. I don't care what your life was like before. I don't care what ailments you have. Like I said it when I was talking earlier, where there's a will, there's a way. Now, don't fucking try to fly, but be like realistic. You can be extraordinary, right? And like I think that's the hardest part. Like AJ said, the first part is you have to believe. And if you don't believe, if you truly are like, fuck you, Jonathan, there's no way I can be extraordinary, lie to yourself. And then guess what? You will. You lie to yourself long enough, you'll start to see it as truth. I promise you that. That's why affirmations work. If you don't do affirmations, do affirmations.
Well,
Boom.
think about it. How many times have we lied to ourselves that we couldn't get something done? How long have we not got it done? So wouldn't it work the other way, right? Raise your hands. How many of us said we can't do something? Did you not do it? I guarantee you did it, right? So obviously that lie was true because you made it true. So think about if you lied other way. Like, oh, wait, I personally don't feel like I could run a 5K, but best believe in my head, I'm about to be first place. I'm taking first. I don't even know how to run. My hips get tight, right? I'm all, walk wobbly and stuff, whatever it might be, right? But I know that I'm going to get it done, right? And if we could sit here and tell ourselves that, oh man, Marcos talked about having a rough week. Oh, this week's hard. It's also difficult. I'm going through so much. Everything's hard. Everything's hard. Well, you just made it that much harder. You made it hard. Oh, I can't really do this program right now because life is getting tough. You now just failed. You failed yourself, right? Because you believed it. So what if we change it, right? Remember I said if you have a bad day, you wake up, you stub your toe. Don't say I'm a bad day. Say you have a good day. Do you believe yourself while you're rubbing your toe that is pulsating? No. But if you just lie to yourself, like, oh, you know what? Today's gonna be a good day. Like this morning, just this morning, literally this morning, I have my Mac set up stuff. I'm about to edit a podcast. This morning, woke up not feeling the best, right? And we have like that the thing that cleans up the air in the house or whatever it might be, full of water, right? I was cleaning. I went to set the tripod to go freaking film. I spill over the full thing, and it doesn't just fall over the floor. It falls all over my brand new freaking kitchen tables, chair that fabric wet the whole chair. Every half gallon went into that chair, and I look at it. I was like, "Happy freaking Sunday, baby! It's gonna be a good one, right?" And instead of getting all pissed off and like and throwing things around and crying, and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a great Sunday." Still got to take my supplements, right? And that was literally 2 seconds before I shot that first clip of me taking my supplements. Do you see what I'm saying? Could you tell that I just spilled a half a gallon of water on a freaking chair that now is sitting in front of my look? I'll show you. Give me a second. That is sitting in my living room now, trying to get some natural light to freaking not smell like mold. Hold on, where is that? There it is, right there. Trying to got it right there. That chair is freaking has a half a gallon of water in it right now. But guess what? You wouldn't have known that, right? Because it's how you handle a situation. It happened. There's nothing I could do about it. It already has a half a gallon of water in it. So it's going to be a good day. I took my supplements. I still did this. I did my cardio. Now I'm in a Zoom call, learning and listening, talking to a whole bunch of people that are working them better in themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
For
yeah,
sure.
we got the cow. Yeah, I got one of those. I guess my next thing. Francine doesn't know about it. She's gonna be pissed, right? So that's what it is. So I think that's 100% into mindset. I could have said, "Damn it, hungover. Today's gonna suck." No, I'm up. I'm listening now. That's what we're doing. So it's that mindset. Have that positive mindset.
For sure. And then with that, piggybacking off of that one, because I wrote another note while you were talking, change what you can, accept what you can't. The quicker you can get to that point of acceptance, the quicker you're gonna just have a happier life. So like he can't unspill the water. He accepted that it happened. He moved on with his day. And also, I don't know if you guys know this, but people tend to smile when they're happy. But did you know that the act of the physical movement of smiling makes you happy? It releases happy chemicals. So if you like just smile, you already feel happier. It just so like when you're having a bad time, force yourself to smile. I know you don't want to. Boom. The next point I wrote is that the progress of like what you think you can do is kind of like a rubber band. And so like I'm talking a super stretchy rubber band, right? And so you stretch it a little bit and you think it's gonna snap and then it doesn't. Then you realize that you can stretch this rubber band to this point. And then you stretch it a little bit more, you think it's going to snap, and then you prove yourself again that you can stretch it this far. And then you stretch it a little bit more and you think it's gonna snap, and then you realize you can stretch it here. And then you get to that point where you keep stretching and coming back. And it's like once you do more, you understand that you have the capacity to do more and do more and do more. So like when I was talking to Bracy earlier, it was like for you, just get started, get something going, and then you'll add more elements, and then boom, you may get to the point one day where weight loss is like that's something that's done. Like you accomplished that. Now it's like, what's next? Fuck it, we might run. It's something that I hate. I ran because I don't like it. AJ's running because he doesn't like it. Just add it, right? And then, like you said, I forget what the words you put, but my understanding when it comes to working out in the gym is the weight never gets lighter. You could just somehow move it, right? It's always a struggle. Um, oh, I said this to AJ when I was in Las Vegas, and I said it one way and he said it another way. So I want to ask him to unmute after I say it. Just say that one part so I can continue. I say I know one thing, and then that's that I know nothing, as in always a student. And then you said, do you remember what you said? I have like the beginning of it.
What
You
did I
said,
say?
don't
I
let
said,
what you do
oh,
know.
don't let what you do know affect what you don't know.
Right. And it's like just because you know something doesn't mean you can't keep learning.
That's
Um,
why I'm here. That's why we're in here. That's why we're all in here. It's Sunday. I know there's a football game on for you people who watch sports. We're in
mhm.
here.
And then my last thing, right? Because you said so much great stuff that resonated with me. It's being mediocre is average. So it does not take much to be above average, right? But that's not what we're after. That's not why you're here. That's not why you have a coach. The goal is truly to be uncommon amongst the uncommon. Like you're not here to just lose weight. You're here to literally change your life, become a better, if not the best version of yourself. And that's anything but mediocre. Like we are starting from like way in the back of the race, right? But we could still finish first. Each and every single one of you. It's like it doesn't matter how you started. It doesn't matter where you're going. All that matters is where you are right now, how you feel about yourself. Because again, I'm gonna bring this one back, right? All we have is right now. So like don't worry about the next couple days. Don't worry about the past couple days of what happened. Trust in a couple things. So trust in AJ, right? You have him as a coach. He's been through something. Trust his plans. They're there to help you. Plans don't work unless you do. I stole that from AJ. And then trust that you're doing everything you can, everything in your power to be that best version of yourself. Once you do that, it'll all fall in line. And all the nuances of, oh, I fell off. What's the best way to do this? How do I do that? All that shit doesn't matter. When you trust yourself and you know that you're gonna get it done, it's gonna get done. And it's like, it's not quick, it's not fast, but it's going to happen, right? And you'll never, so like the big round table, right? That's like the successful people who made it. Whatever your version of the big round table is, you will never get an invite to the big round table. And so, as a metaphor, pull yourself up a chair and then start ordering. Because, like, nobody's going to come save you, nobody's going to come help you. Another repeat, you are the only vessel that can get you to where you want to go in life. The moment you like, the sooner you accept that, the sooner you start taking those steps. And you're not just going to fucking teleport there. Teleportation doesn't exist. Don't focus on where you're going, focus on the step that's in front of you. And that is I guess that's the closing words because your boy gotta go. I ran a marathon today. It's time to get fucked up, everybody.
Bro, that was a good call, man. I enjoyed this one.
For
Also,
sure.
freaking Brian, bro, you made that burrito look freaking good, man. I had to work on my burritos too. Man, you're out there smacking it. I was like, man, I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, made his homemade burrito. I'm making my Brian made burrito, baby. Let's go.
Sure.
That was, man. I liked everything, bro. I'm so happy I hopped in. How everyone like it? Good, good, good. Gotta give him some. Gotta get some thumbs up in here. Everyone have a good time. Everyone,
We're
let's take
very
some.
happy to have you all here. It was I definitely made my night. I love talking to you guys. I love talking to anybody that wants to hear it. And AJ knows all about that. He'll call me randomly, 2 hour phone call out of nowhere. We'll just be chatting. So
So
definitely
this is when I talk about how I have certain friends in my group who I talk to and I rely on when I'm stressed out, or if they call me when they're stressed out. How I share a lot of stuff with you. This is one of them. So he's this way, I think. This is one of them. So this is Jonathan. He's an online coach. He's now jumping full force into being an online coach. And he's leaving his engineer job, which is absolutely insane to do this full time. And it's a very big leap. It's something scary. Right? It's very, very scary to take a leap of faith. Very, very scary, right? Because at the end of the day, we could lose it at any time, right? Especially when it's not that, contract. We would make our own money. We're our own bosses, but at the same time, we could lose in a heartbeat. If you do the wrong thing, you end up on the wrong social media platform, you say the wrong thing, we could lose it all, right? And so I've been talking with them and stuff like that. And sometimes I'll randomly just call him like, hey, how's everything going? He's like, oh, good. It's kind of getting a little worked up that it's, X, Y, and Z, whatever it might be. I was like, hey, just relax and just keep being you. Keep doing what you need to do. Keep doing the right thing, right? And that's something I tell all of you, right? And guess what? This guy's no different. He's lost a whole bunch of weight. He's on like coach. He has muscles, but we still tell each other the same thing. We still coach each other the same. We're still friends the same, because it's a difficult journey. It's a very, very scary thing, whether it be making the leap of faith to join a program, making a leap of faith, start tracking your food, taking a leap of faith to work on yourself, become mentally better, physically better. It is a freaking scary thing for change, right? Especially when you've tried it so many times and you've failed and failed and failed and failed and then failed 5 more times. And then you lost 10 pounds and you gained 20 back, right? It's difficult. But at the same time, you get to learn. And then what you got to do is you got to learn how bad you felt about yourself for gaining the 10 pounds. So why would we put ourselves in that same boat, right? So just like all of you, We're all taking leaps of faith and stuff that we're doing, and we're understanding that it's a difficult journey, it's a difficult task. But at the same time, we are in the middle of becoming the best version of ourselves. Right now, where you're at, you are a badass. Like, think about it. If you're at the heaviest weight right now that you've ever been, right? You're in badass. My version of myself at 650 pounds working out, that person's badass. I complain about working out now. I didn't complain at 650 pounds. That guy was way more badass than this guy. This guy complains about everything, honestly. You know? So you're in the middle of being not only the best version of yourself, but you're right now the most badass you've ever been. And tomorrow, you're going to top that. Next day, you're going to top that. Right. And if next day you kind of slow down, guess what? Now you have a lesson. And then you come back and you top those other days. And we keep going and we keep working. Like I said, this stuff's not meant to be easy. But at the same time, when we work on ourselves, we continue to keep pushing ourselves. I promise you, to put not a lot of things you promise in life. If you put in the work, you are going to look in the mirror one day and be so proud of who you are. And you're going to recognize yourself. But it has to be the work first. It took me years to understand this and to believe it. It took Jonathan 3 years to understand he could do 21 miles. It took the work first. You can't skip the work, right? Can't skip the progress. Can't skip the work. Can't skip the hard days. Can't skip the trials and tribulations. You cannot skip any of it. But those are days you're going to push yourself to become better. And one day you're going to look in the mirror, and it could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be next year. You're going to look in the mirror and you're going to recognize who the hell you are. And you're like, I'm proud of that person. Now let's keep going.
Now let's keep going.
All right, I'm eating my burrito now.
That's it. That's it. All right.
All right.
Any final words from anybody? All right. If not, Brace, you have something?
How do you crave the hunger pains? Like when you've eaten the food for the day, how do you keep yourself from still feeling hungry?
So definitely a mixed answer on this one. AJ might have a different answer to you. Some days I'll eat something. Simple as that. I'll add something else. And so the way that you have your calorie deficit, I typically do 500 below, right? And you could eat, a couple hundred calories for the night. You could drink a glass of water, drink a protein shake because protein help keeps you full. Then there's other days where even as a coach, I splurge, I eat whatever, and then get back to it the next day. You just got to be making sure that you're being conscious with your meals. And so if you are eating your meals, you're following the meal plan, and you're still hungry throughout the day, then that's a conversation with AJ on updating your meal. But excuse me, Siri, nobody's talking to you. Sorry about that. But if you're eating your meals and you're finding that you're hungry, definitely talk to AJ. But if you're not eating your meals like exactly as they are and you're still hungry, then maybe eat a little bit more. And don't really fight it too much, right? And so we have a goal, we want it to happen quick. It's not going to be quick. Like one day of like terrible or like a little bit of cravings is going to stop, right? So go ahead, eat something, drink some water, drink some protein, get back to it the next day. All right. Sounds good.
All
All
right.
right. Well,
Let's
yes,
go.
thank
Oh,
you so much. Yeah, I gotta go start pre-gaming. So I appreciate you all coming. You
all
got a question? I think Brain does. Oh, no, I think he's just saying goodbye. All right.
right. Well,
Peace out, everyone. Thanks for coming out. You guys are all awesome. We might have another crossover episode, Disney, Nickelodeon needs Disney.
So for those of my clients that are in here, don't forget, check in tomorrow. Book a Zoom call. Jonathan, you're the best. Love you, bro. Proud of you, man. I'm glad you guys shared knowledge with everyone. Later, everyone.
Peace out. Have a great night, everybody.